So I've been contacted by a few different folks here in the community regarding homelessness or unhoused or whatever term that people want to use. And I guess what the city's efforts are in regard to that, again, being relatively new here to the community and to the state, I don't know what's been done in the past, but the folks that I did talk to, I did say that I would bring it up at council, and it would be a discussion here at council for all of us to talk about, and to potentially be able to point out some different resources here in the community that may be available for folks that don't have anywhere to live. So really, I mean, I just really wanted to kind of have just a general discussion. I know I've heard of warming centers here in the past. Of course, we have food banks here locally that do stuff as well. But again, I just really wanted to have a discussion about it, and then for everyone watching at home to be able to relay the information to the folks that might need it. And that was it. I don't have anything specific with this. Just I would have just a general discussion. You all have been here much longer than I have, and know the resources that are available.
I think we have a lot of resources in the audience tonight, and we have people who have literally dedicated dozens, if not hundreds, of hours to the efforts in the past year and a half. And I think it would be helpful to hear from some of them on what couple things where we are in general with issues of the unhoused, but also as temperatures are finally getting lower, what we have to expect coming up into the colder season and where the community can help.
Is this all YEEHAW out here, or is this?
Did you just have an event where you had people that were interested in volunteering? Has that come up yet?
The training is coming up.
Do we have a spokesperson?
Actually, if you're here because you volunteer with YEEHAW, maybe just raise your hand so we can see how many people are here to talk about it.
Do we have someone that wants to speak for the group?
I nominate Jeff.
I nominate Jeff.
I'll do the obligatory. Jeff Richardson, 617 San Juan Avenue. Is there something else I'm supposed to say? It's been a while since I've been here. This is not my favorite place to be in front of this podium, but I do represent YEEHAW in the sense that I volunteer.
Jeff, sorry, you're too tall. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so can you hear me now?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound like he's on. Hold on just a second, Jeff.
Oh, anything on. There, it's on.
Try it now.
Try now.
Hello? Hello?
Nope.
We can share.
Use your big boy voice.
Just project.
The voice has been silenced.
That's trap right there. Okay.
It's supposed to be directional, so if you could get it closer to you.
I haven't heard anybody all night, Joe, and I don't need it, so I wouldn't know if it was on when I was doing it.
Try it now, Jim.
Just project.
How about now?
How about no?
Nope. Okay.
Big
Well,
voice.
I won't lean over it then if
Crowd
that's not going to
voice.
do me any good. So what YEEHAW's doing, last year we started right around this time. I think it was November 6th or 7th. We started with a warming center. That was at that was at Sandy Lee and Marty Lee's church in Rocky Ford. We had a big snow. I don't know if you remember last year. It was like a foot, or it seemed like it. I don't know what a foot is, but it was like, like that. We had a lot of snow. A lot of people were put out, and a lot of people who were already out didn't have anywhere to go. And so, us, I say them. I mean, I just happen to be part of it. I didn't organize this thing. I just got on board and have become part of the kind of movement to help people who really don't have anybody on their side. I've been in that position. I've been fortunate that I've had people who cared about me. There's a lot of people that those people are dead, or they're gone, or they've abandoned them and they don't have anybody, and those are the people we try to help, the people that really don't have anybody except maybe the good hearts of strangers. So what we're doing again this year is we're trying to be prepared. We learned a lot. I think we did it 5 times. Does anybody know how many times? 5. We got a 5. So 5 times we did this. A number of times at Scott Johnson's church in the basement there at the Calvary. We opened it up when weather dictated that we needed to, and typically that was when there were extremely low temperatures followed overnight, followed by the next day of low temperature. So if the temperatures got up, we didn't have it. You know, if people were able to get warm, because again, this is all run on volunteer basis. This is run by people who want to be part of helping in whatever capacity that they can. You know, we've had tons of donations. This thing's really gone out in a lot of directions now, with a couple or 3 or 4 churches really involved, collecting donations, giving money. You know, what else we've done throughout the year is people that you see on the streets, a lot of times they just need a place to go. We put them up in hotel rooms. You know, this is all done with funding that is donations. We've gotten some grant funding. We haven't asked for a penny from any government organization. The health department, Otero County Health Department's involved in this. Rick Ritter's a big part of this. Chris Mangus as well with the health department. Christine Caulfield, I don't want to leave anybody out. I mean, I guess I could name everyone in the audience. There's a lot of people here, and I'm sure they're familiar faces, but we're just trying to make sure that people that need help, that we can get them maybe from where they are now to the next phase of where they want to go. You know, we're not about enabling people to stay where they are, and I know that's a big concern for a lot of people. That never helped me. I had people enable me my whole life, and all I did was stay where I was. You know, I love nothing better than to get a room so I could just stay in there and do what I used to do. We know that doesn't help people, so there's a lot more involved than just putting someone somewhere. You know, there's a lot more to this kind of service that we provide than just putting their bodies somewhere in a different place. We really want to help people get out of that environment that they're in if they're ready to do that. So I don't know if that answers any questions. I actually didn't have any questions, so I guess it does.
Okay, so you talked a little bit about donations. What is the biggest need as far as donation wise?
You know, I'll say this. I hear a lot of things from the audience, but money. You know, doesn't everyone? We just had someone talk for 7 minutes about that the city needs money, and we need money too. You know, money makes things happen. The Kitchen of Kindness has an office, you know, where the office is over on 2nd Street. I always related to the Department of Cuts because I know where that place is. It's next door. They have an office there where they've been taking clothing donations, you know, and they had a ton of women's clothes. And I said, hey, we need men's clothing to people that I knew in the community, and they've gotten a lot of men's clothing, and now they have so many that we've had to store them in different places. Clothing's a big thing, you know, especially men's, you know, and I said this before, we tend to wear the same thing, men, for a long time. It doesn't get seasonal for us, you know, wear this thing for the next 5 years. So we need clothing for men because we tend to hold on to stuff, and most of the people that are homeless, if you look around, there's definitely a higher percentage of men that are homeless, and so we need men's clothing, and if you donate them there and they don't have enough room for them, we'll get them to the right place. Definitely funding, and you can donate directly to Otero County Health Department. And look, if you want to donate money, we'll make sure. I don't want to misspeak on how that process goes now, but there's.
Can you talk about Boots and Beans Fund?
Yeah, so that's funding that YEEHAW directly, and YEEHAW is just a grassroots organization. It's not a 501(c) or C3, whatever it is, yet. But we do need funding. You know, again, I said we put people up in rooms sometimes. That comes from us, or we scramble to, you know, the Catholic Church has been real helpful. The River La Junta Church, Calvary Church, the church in Sherrod. These are churches that have really reached out a lot to say, we have some funds we can give to help this person right now, but this stuff adds up quick. You know, I mean, a week in a hotel. I had a call last week from the police chief asking me about a guy staying in a park here. What can we do with him? And, you know, he's gotten into that Osborn housing there in Rocky Ford, but that's not going to happen at the earliest this Friday coming up, I think. Yeah, the 21st. So, you know, where's he going to go now? And that's $500, and it's like, where does that come from? You know, we have to kind of try to figure out how to put that money together. So,
and I know since I've been part of it, we buy car parts, we bought cell phones, we paid for dental work.
Yeah.
So it's kind of those immediate needs. I think Kristen says it best. It's the thing that if it happened to you or I, it would be inconvenient. But when it happens to somebody who is experiencing homelessness, it can be the thing that breaks them. It can be the final straw. So the Boots and Beans Fund has been, you know, all donations go towards needs, and all of the requests are kind of screened by the committee and approved. And so yes, the donations are used wisely, and I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, and one other thing, we've helped people, and this isn't something we really want to get into very deeply, but pay their electric bill. When it's cold and you don't have your electric. I mean, you're talking about people, and I think a lot of us take it for granted that maybe we could make it for 3 months if, I got a $3,000 bill in the mail. But some people get that and they're done. It's like, I can't pay it, I can't get my plumbing fixed, I can't get whatever I need fixed. And, a lot of people around here have inherited homes from parents. It's not like the landlord's obligated to fix it. Maybe they're in this home and there's nothing they can do about it. So a lot of people are really in tough positions that we probably take for granted and don't think about, and these are things that we try to help people with. A phone for someone who lives on the streets is important because it's really hard to get someone into that Osborn project. It's not like just write your name here and, we have to have identification, social security card, birth certificate. Those aren't things people typically go, let me check my files here while I'm homeless and figure out where I put my birth certificate. So it's a process to get these things for people. And then to get them a cell phone is really beneficial because then we can find them. Because we don't know where to go to find them. They might be here today and gone tomorrow. And so these little things, and they add up. But these are things, again, a lot of us have been through this or known people who have or have a lot of experience helping homeless people. So we know what it is that they might need in order to get out of that lifestyle rather than how can we keep them there and make them comfortable. So,
Jeff, can you speak to any sort of fundraising events coming up or donation drives that are going to be happening soon?
I'm going to poll the audience on this one.
The big one's Thursday, the volunteer lunch.
We do have a volunteer lunch on Thursday,
That's the big one.
but that's just recruiting help. And
So there's no actual events like set up or designed for direct fundraising or anything like that?
Not yet.
Yeah. Okay, I like the word
Yeah.
yet. I like
Yeah.
that.
No, we want to do that, and that's really important to us is to do events like that because there's the like the Boots and Blink thing, right? I sat at a table with you. That's a great fundraiser, right? And so people come out for these things, especially in this town. There's not a whole lot going on, and those are great events to bring the community together and to bring some fundraising together. We have a YEEHAW page on Facebook. And we try to post things on there. If there's different food drives, those kind of things from different churches, we kind of, like Chris likes to say, we broker this information. We just put it out there. It's not necessarily all our information, but if we get information, we'll put it out there to kind of get the community involved.
For those who don't have Facebook, how are you reaching out to the community as far as I've gotten a card before that's just a quick reference, but that's all I have. I don't have anything else. If I could take a picture and send it to someone, but do you have any informational sheets at the local businesses? So
What are those
employees
resource
informed?
cards the PD has? Does anyone have
Chris,
one of
do you
those?
have any with you?
Right here. I was going to ask him about that, but I think that's been one of the biggest problems, even from the get-go, is we have all these resources, but people don't know about them.
Sure.
And I think this was the start of that. I don't know if it's been updated or if it's a current one, but I know this was the start of that, and it was a good movement. I think a compiled list of everything that's available in the community that we can put out there, again, on a constant basis.
So all of our PD have these cards. They have stacks of these cards, and I'm just going to read some stats for you guys. A lot of you guys were here when we did the no camping ordinance that we had here. And Jeff mentioned talking to Chief about an individual. Jeff does that quite a bit, and we thank you for that, for being that middleman to try and get them the help and resources that they need. So for the year of 2025, we have had 54 violations of the ordinance. Okay, at 3rd and Adams there have been 10. At 3rd and Anderson there have been 10. The Santa Fe Plaza there have been 11. 3rd and Maple 3. 100 Warren Avenue, we just found out that's by the old Racines, if anybody knows where that's at. There was 3. The Library 3, US Bank 2, Casa del Sol 2, and the City Park 2. The following location had 1 violation each: Calvary Church, Junction 50, Galleria, 7th and Barnes, 324 Colorado, the Shell gas station, and 7 East 5th Street and 18th and Adams. Some of these locations have had multiple individuals camping together. All violators received a warning. No one has been given a ticket or a fine. All violators were asked to leave. Out of the 54, 44 of the violations were initiated by officers, which was part of the reason that we had to do the ordinance, because they were not able to just approach the individuals without this ordinance. So out of the other 10 were calls from the community. So I'll get this given to Mel, and she can give it to you guys.
Yeah. Who participated in the point in time count last year? Did anybody here? Would you take the podium so I could ask you a question? Or questions?
Briefly, you want to explain the point in time to anyone watching?
The point in time is a count of people that are unhoused within the state of Colorado, and it's divided into transitory, permanent, and temporary homelessness, correct?
Yes.
How many of each of those categories did we have in this area?
We, if memory serves, we had 33 altogether, meaning transient and homeless living in the area that were I guess you could say indigenous.
That
So-
was in La Junta only?
That was in La Junta and Rocky Ford. That's the ones that we could find because we aren't able to go to a lot of places, and the homeless count coming up this year is going to be housed and unhoused, and we're trying to figure out whether or not that means what we would call underhoused, meaning like without electricity and stuff like that too. So.
And services were provided to how many unhoused?
During the count?
No, just throughout the year.
Oh, throughout the year, I wouldn't be able to.
Oh, for point in time or just like in our?
Of those individuals contacted or considered or counted in the point in time, how many of those were received services?
Point in time is just data collection. You don't offer services, but in our year and a half, I think at our last tally, we had done like 234 referrals to care for 78 individuals.
Okay, thank you. That was.
Just so everybody that's watching, they said 234 reports of service to care for 78 individuals? Close, ballpark? Yeah.
Another one of the issues, you can sit down, Val. Reunification was an issue that was talked about early, and do you have a number, how many people have been reunified? And by that we mean we have helped them with a bus ticket or a plane ticket or a train ticket or a ride to get to family or friends because they are in La Junta or our area, and for whatever reason they don't have access to help. Sorry, just say a number, then I will not make you come up here, Kristen.
I don't have it on me, and I'm sorry. I didn't. I would have preferred to I could have gotten you beautiful numbers. At last count, I think we had done somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 compassionate reunifications, and that is only when somebody is returning to loved ones. So we don't just put them on a bus and then hope for the best. They have to have family or loved ones that they'll be returning to as a result of that transportation. And Eliza up here was somebody who's helped us tremendously through that. We have a lot of headaches with bus staying because their system relies on a mobile app in order for you to get the tickets. And so we've had to again rely on donations to purchase the tickets, and then because folks don't have phones. And so if they can't scan their ticket to get to their next stop, we don't want them to be stranded, so we have to give them cash. But I think last summer, probably June or July, we were at 35 individuals all over the United States. Everywhere from Washington to Florida. Yeah, so, sorry, I can get you those numbers.
So if someone from the YEEHAW group wouldn't mind to compile all the various resources that you all have access to or can plug into and get it to us here at City Hall, we'd be more than happy to put it out. Hey, how you doing? We'd be more than happy to put it out, and I'm just kidding. We'd be more than happy to put it out and get that information out there for people. That way they can have it one way or another. Again, whether we put it on the Facebook page, on the website, or if we have cards, like the one that Damon has over there, something we want to be able to, in my opinion, the city wants to be able to provide resources and opportunities for folks to not be put out in the cold, to not be hungry. Again, we just started a food drive a couple weeks ago to try to offset some of the government shutdown / SNAP benefit stuff that was going on. So again, we want to be able to get the information to folks and for them to be able to utilize it. So if somebody from YEEHAW or wherever could compile all that stuff and get it to us, we'd be more than happy. We'd be more happy to get it out.
The booklet that you guys did, the government resources, has been
Yeah.
passed out all over town, hasn't it?
I don't know about.
We can have it here this week.
But yeah, we can get that information to you guys.
Cool.
for sure.
That'd be perfect. Thank you.
We have a QR code that's scannable, that's on a lot of different information that we have. The hell's out of the government resources. But there's a lot of other resources too that we could probably put in there just locally, like Kitchen of Kindness. I don't think they're in that government resource book, but okay, well, there's a lot of different resources that are kind of evolving as we continue to do this and reach out to other organizations in our community to see who wants to partner with us and just be part of it. With a question about if you don't have Facebook, what do you do? I've been trying to rack my brain, but I know Chris does not have Facebook, so maybe you can answer that question for you.
I don't. That's always the challenge, and we're just always trying to figure that out. The cards are part of that. For folks that don't have Facebook, we want to put something in their hands. The resource book that Jeff's talking about, we've got the digital QR code that's scannable, but we've got a handful of in-print books as well. So, we use the shelter as a way to get to people, talk with people that way. Word of mouth, we're a small community, so we rely heavily on that word of mouth.
And the police are equipped with the cards?
Yes.
Okay.
On that note, I do want to give a shout out to Chief Quick. I think he's been incredibly helpful. I think everybody on our committee would agree that we appreciate his communication and efforts to genuinely help people, and he's been a good partner in the Wahana Police Department. Has been a good partner in efforts. I also just want to say I'm glad Steve's here. This is a regional effort. We've always talked about it being a regional issue and a regional effort, and so huge shout out to Rocky Ford that is opening the Osborn permanent supportive housing for 30 people who will have a place to call home starting on Friday, which is incredible. And when you think about how far we've come, and we talk about handing out cards, we talk about lists, it's high touch. What folks have needed to be able to get on the list for the Osborn has been high touch, and a lot of the folks who have been involved in doing that are here tonight. So I just want to do shout out Chris Mingus, Larry Chapman, I see you back there, Jeff, and Kristen. I know you, all of you in the audience have done a lot of one-on-one getting people resources, and we can hand out lists all day, but it's the people who have taken the time to walk with people and get them to the where they need to be. That's impressive. So shout out Steve, very excited to see you, Osborn. Excited what you guys are doing, and I just want to say YEEHAW is fun to say, but it also stands for something that I think is meaningful. It stands for Yielding Effective Entry to Housing and Well-Being. So I think it's been very intentional, the efforts by the people in the community who have stepped up. So thank you for all showing up tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, and I'll just say one other thing too is, Chris and I do a lot of outreach with the people that are homeless, as well as Larry, but maybe we can put our contact info in this, and if you don't have Facebook, I guess you have Seco News, right? You don't have so you can get our information there. And I mean, you guys, we all live in this community. You see someone, maybe they need help, reach out to us, because the reality is no matter what channel you go through, they're probably going to get back to our group before they're going to get any help anywhere else. So that's all I got with that.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
There's another comment.
I was just gonna, I'm, oh, should I
Come on, Scott.
Come on, that was Scott.
I'm Scott Johnson. I'm the pastor at Calvary Church just down the street, 2407 Johnston Drive. All I want to do is just personally invite you to Thursday at 11:30 for our training. If you really want to know what the warming center is about, come and see. We have about 60 people that are going to come and volunteer. And if you want to see what we do, what we're about, where we're at, the people that we help, I can't tell you how awesome it is to be a part of this YEEHAW group. my wife and I moved to Junta from the very wealthy suburbs of Denver, and we have truly enjoyed being a part of the city and being a part of the solution to the things that are going on here. And I'm really appreciate that. But we definitely want to invite you to be a part of what we're doing. This is not just about us. This is all of us together.
Thank you,
Thank
Scott.
you.
Well, hello, somebody waved me up. My name is Steve Cordova, for those of you who don't yet know me. I'm the Executive Director of Total Concept. We are the owner and developer of the Osborn that Jeff had been talking about. But to answer your question, Mr. Hart, a little more fully, they are a grassroots organization, which is absolutely necessary, and the housing and homelessness situation is a broad continuum. And so I appreciate when you mentioned how do we keep people housed, and that's one of those things we do as well, right? So over the last 12 months, we've assisted about 1,500 people. Our geographical reach is much larger, but we've assisted about 1,500 people, 1,200 with direct financial assistance, totaling about $5 million, and about 300 people in what we call housing counseling, financial fitness, and stuff like that. So by providing them and serving them to understand what their financial situation is, helps them remain housed. And as you mentioned, how do we keep them there? The second thing is how do we connect them with the resources necessary to keep them housed, and that's where that direct assistance comes in. So I strongly recommend reaching out to the Housing Authority. You have one here in La Junta, which is also La Junta, Otero County, Bent County Housing Authority, which we manage, and then also there's the Rocky Ford Housing Authority. All of those are absolutely necessary to receive some of those financial resources to keep people housed. But then you also have social services, your medical provider, all of those others that then can come in and collaborate with what organizations exist, such as ours, to address those people needing to remain housed. The homelessness, as we're talking about, those that don't have a place that they call home, really rely on the grassroots efforts of people like YEEHAW and our permanent supportive housing project that will actually provide about $10,000 of services to those individuals. This is not the rent that they pay. This is the services we provide in that form of mental health services and then potentially healthcare services. And so then we partner with Valley-wide, who was previously standalone as Southeast Mental Health Services. So as a housing organization, we provide a very robust array of services that unfortunately don't exist right here in La Junta, but our supportive housing project, which will open up, is in Rocky Ford, and you see that as you're going down the highway. Ours is the Osborn on 515 Elm Street. So that will be a tremendous service in South and Eastern Colorado that did not exist otherwise. Happy to answer other questions you may have. But again, utilize the resources that you do have here. People always forget about the housing authorities, about Department of Social Services, about Department of Health, about Valley-wide, right? All of those exist. Please provide resources or referrals to those agencies because they continue to get filtered through the whole system, particularly with the new robust system called Coordinated Entry System, in order to make those referrals to organizations like ours. So the resources actually exist. Now, unfortunately, as you mentioned, right, and everybody else mentioned, 30 people, 70 people, something like that. The volume is not large enough for La Junta to have its own fully funded shelter or fully funded anything, so to say, right? 70 people do not pay the bills unless the cities and the counties want to subsidize that. I don't think anybody has that type of money. We just listen to minutes about, where are your dollars going, right? Unless you have, my budget's going to be well over $500,000 a year for that project, right? $13 million to build it. $13 million to build it. So you need a lot of resources and a lot of capacity in order to make it happen. So that's why the power of these grassroots organizations is so great, and why we all need to donate to them and support their efforts, because they're the people on the ground that can do the street outreach that organizations like ours and the housing authorities cannot do. So it's got to be a community-wide event, community-wide effort, leveraging the resources of established organizations and your institutional organizations, but the grassroots organizations are hugely important as well. So that's just a much bigger explanation. Happy, Mr. Hart, to spend time with you talking more about it, or any of you other council members as well. Many of you who obviously I know, but many of you who I don't, happy to spend more time with you.
Cool.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, thanks.
Pick up your winkle. There we go. All right.